Hi and welcome to Doc and Talk, a KLU's interview series where I ask questions to personalities and people who have something to say about management, leadership and a little bit about logistics. My name is Andreas Kaplan, I'm KLU's president and I have the great honor to have with us today Marcell Jansen. Marcell, welcome at Kühne Logistics University.
Thank you so much. How we say moin.
Moin, exactly. So you are obviously a very well-known former German soccer player. You did 2 World Cups, one in 2006, one in 2010. You did a European Championship. You played for very well-known German soccer clubs, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Bayern Munich, and obviously Hamburger SV. When you turned 29 or at 29 years of age, you decided now my career as a professional soccer player is over. You retired. You did not make yourself only friends with this decision because there was no obvious reason, no injury, things like that. We might talk about that a little bit later. And very early onwards, you became the president of the Hamburger SV. And you're doing a lot of other things. You're an investor, you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker, and you also do charity work quite a bit. So my first question would actually be, what's your job?
My job next to the president of the HSV, it's not a paid job. So a lot of people don't know it, that it's a lot to do, but it's a not paid job. I'm not sure. What is the word in English for Ehrenamt?
Yes.
Yes. So Ehrenamt, it's not a word now. And first I have to say, if you get your hobby to turn to your job, so play soccer from a kid, 4 years old. My mom said I start before. If she heard in the room the balls going on, but at the end, if it turns to your job, it's a different. You lose your hobby. So, and I love it's a big privilege to have your hobby turn to your job. But then I do it like 12 years, the job of a professional soccer player, and then with like 29, short before 30, I was thinking a lot. What is my next step? What is my goal? What I can do the next 20, 30 years? What I'm here for? I know what I do before, was a privileged person to play for their own country, to play for 3 big clubs. Yeah, and this decision was, you asked me what I do today. I built up a company called Statics. We take care about the resilience in mental and body health and prevention. So, because this is the biggest privilege I had when I play, or when I get a professional soccer player, national player, it's the interest to health and to individual prevention. And so this privilege I want to give over, and to do this I have to build up a company.
Okay, so you're a entrepreneur in essentially. Before we get to you as a leader and as an entrepreneur, obviously I don't have that often top athletes with me. So my question would be, what can managers and leaders learn from top athletes?
I think there are a lot of good characteristics like teamwork, communication, stand up if you get a setback or fall back, learn from it, reflection, communication, it's very important. And I think also for top managers, it's very important to handle the pressure, how to handle pressure, and solution-driven. If you get like a highest athlete, not only in soccer, I like to talk about a lot of good sports and athletes, women or men, who do unbelievable things in sports. And yeah, there you need a very fast reflection in your life, what you do, and stay positive. If you have like fall downs, to get up quickly and go straight forward.
Okay. Do you think that, well, I know the answer, but I'm nevertheless asking, should a manager, leader prioritize personal fitness?
I think we have to be a little bit be careful, like this fitness hype in general, like all the datas and all the stuff. I don't like really much because there's too much information for us people. So it's nice if one will tell me that in the whole week I sleep 4 days not good, but what I have to do to sleep good. So all the datas are not what I like, too much datas for people. So that's why the fitness, but the resilience is the key. Like the mental and body resilience, because there are so much things going on at the moment, so much things. It's like the wars, like what is going on with the nature, and in Europe also we had a lot of pressure of a lot of change processes are going on, and so the key then is the resilience. So I will say it like your own fitness is your individual resilience, but you have to know where you stand in your own individual prevention. If you know it, you can train it and then you can lead. If not, you're finding, like we search all the year for some solutions, routines, how we can change our life in a healthy way. So I will say it's more the resilience than the fitness.
Okay, and don't exaggerate it. And
yes.
Thank you for this answer. I didn't expect this one, but it calms me quite a bit. So let's go to leadership. You obviously in your career, you had different leadership roles in a certain way. You have been a role model as this top athlete and this soccer player. Now as president of the HSV, you're actually leading, and as an entrepreneur you're leading. So what would be your definition of leadership? Or maybe that's too complicated, but just what is a good leader for you?
I think although it change also what is because there are different competitions, like what is now. I think we cannot compare to what was 10 years before, 20 years before. So as a leader, but I think so the main keys are really similar. So I think also I love it if people are solution driven and take a little bit the emotion away from taking solutions. So because also in soccer it's a big problem that every discussion or decisions will make with a lot of emotions. That's not good. Emotions are good for inspiring, for reaching another level, to have a lot of energy to reach the goals. Yeah, for this all you need emotions, but in a right way, in a good way. And so a good leader, especially in this time now where we are, have to be positive and have to know how he can lead with resilience. Because if I'm like a leader, doesn't matter as a coach, as a soccer player, or in a company, I have to know how I can take all the peoples with me. So, but before I do this, I have to know where I stand now at this moment, because it's a little bit complicated if you don't know where you stand with your resilience.
You're focusing a lot on this aspect, resilience. Do you have an example where you in your career had to be extremely resilient?
Boy, it's so complex, so different situations. But the good thing or the privilege what I had, or I learned as a child, as a young soccer player, very young soccer player, you get like jump in the jungle. You know, you play and there are maybe not 50,000 fans are watching, but maybe like fast like some thousands. So all this what happened around you, you need to learn this. So it's not like you cannot prepare. So you get in and then you have to find very fast solutions to get strong in your resilience. And that was like a kind of privilege that if I had it after a time, I know if I had the first time to speak before people, it was so hard for me. But I have to do it, and I do it more, and then you get like resilient. It's by doing. It's not by waiting for. And so that's like for I think for a soccer player who start very young, we need to learn also the reflection very young. You cannot say all the day I was the best. You know that when you don't play good, when you do not a good job, then as an athlete, you know it, because you know to get better, to reach a highest end level, you need to have a good reflection.
Learning by doing, absolutely, but that's why, because you have been forced to learn by doing. Wouldn't it have been better to have somebody? I mean, did you have any role models where you could see, well, this is the way they do it, and I should do it the same? Is that something you look at other, maybe older soccer players, or at the trainer, or how? I mean, learning by doing, I understand that and you have to do it, but that sounds very difficult.
It is like who are role models? I think in school it's teachers, if you're lucky. Yeah. It's in soccer the same. It's the coach. It's very important, because the coach lead the group, and you are very lucky as a player if the coach has a feeling for you, because if you're young you don't know anything. Yeah, you're just playing soccer, but you have your things going around in your head, and you focus. And then I was very lucky that I had good coaches. In a very professional way, because I started at Borussia Mönchengladbach, so there was very professional in the youth already, and that helps a lot. And also my biggest role models were very happy and thankful, because you cannot choose it. It's my parents, because they show me how to see the glass not
half empty, but half
empty,
full.
half full, and it's like it's all about. It's your decision at the end, how are your thoughts, and your thoughts do a lot what your whole energy at the end is.
So your parents are role models, and your coaches. Do you remember any of the coaches, any leadership advice you got from them that's stuck in your head, and where you say, well, this was really a good advice, and maybe tell us the name?
Oh, it's very hard to find one special situation, because there was so much different situation with high pressure going on. But I think at the end, what from emotional side or from the heart side, what I can remember most, if in like high pressure moments, doesn't matter who was the role model, the coach, the parents, the friends, that in this moment they reach you, because they feel, no, he's a little under pressure, he's like nervous. And then if you have some, or you're interested in people, and the coach is interested in you, he knows which button he have to put. And this I had a lot in right situations, that I get the, how you say, not the feedback, so the support in this moment. For example, 2006, I was the youngest player in the whole squad. So the youngest player, with Cristiano Ronaldo from Portugal and Messi from Argentina. So I was the youngest player in a German team, and was of course my first World Cup. And the World Cup was in our own land, so in Germany. And so I know the whole country is looking, and I was the youngest player, but I know that if I play my game, so against Portugal, so before the game, that also, Jogi Löw, for example, had a really good feeling for the players, and Jürgen Klinsmann, and the way they bring me into the game or on the pitch before, with a lot of small talk, but with sense. So they reach me, and so that I was very powerful. So leadership, you have to know your people, and then you know how you can take the best from them. And this is like on the highest level, coaches, of course, national coaches, or for big clubs like Bayern Munich, Ottmar Hitzfeld. At Borussia Mönchengladbach was Jupp Heynckes. So they had so much experience, so they know, they had a feeling how to do it in the right moment. This is very special. So that's why I'm privileged and very lucky to have like these coaches.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for these insights. But 29 years old, so you decide, okay, stop. And did you prepare that? Was that you knew that with 29 or at that moment I want to stop? And if you prepared it, how long in beforehand you prepared that?
It was a little like, I would say, a silence process. So it's keeping step by step. It was not like, no, it is. But what I do, what was good, what I know today, in this moment, I was not sure is it the right decision for about yet 10 years. But what I do during my career, the soccer career as a professional, I try to learn who I am next to soccer. So I make a lot of experiments, making startups, making some stuff beside the soccer to learn how this life without football can be. What are my what is my passion next to soccer? So I try to find the answer. I don't get them in this moment, but if the way what I said is a silence process was with 29, I know now it's time to jump in the colder water, then to go to the other club, play maybe for another 2, 3, 4 years, get a lot of money, but then the real life will also start.
Just 3 years later, yeah.
Some years later, and then maybe it's like I know the word unterbewusst, subconscious, that you fall too much laying back, and then I know as an athlete, doesn't matter which kind of athlete, you want the challenge, and you cannot say 35 and a challenge or 34 is quit. The life is so long, so what I'm here for, what I can do, and so it was a silent process to have the decision, but I feel good in the way doing it after the soccer start early enough. So I hope a lot of professionals will also look at this also in their prime time. So I do it in my prime time when I go to Bayern Munich. I start to find me because I was young. I don't know anything about the world, about business, and so I get very interested in a lot of things. And at the end, it was the health things, the entrace, the big entrace to health, to prevention in a high-end level, and to give this to other people. So I changed my impact.
I think very interesting, but this is quite. So you did prepare, but then you started like with 25, let's say, to this process of finding yourself, which is quite astonishing. So I try to understand at what moment somebody with 25, very successful, says, well, now I need to try out other things, because you had the smartness to know that probably a couple of years later, this is quite something. So where does it come from?
It's one of the questions we get most of the time. And I say, I don't really know, because my parents was not entrepreneur or something like this. It comes in the time on my highest level when I turn from Borussia Mönchengladbach to Bayern Munich. I signed a 5 years contract, so a big contract, 5 years, and then I get an injury. Was not because of the injury, like the fear because of the injury, but the injury gives me time to reflect. So I'm not sure, it was 2007. So it was the beginning of 20. And then I had this injury, and I was sitting like at home and had time to reflect all the years back, because before Bayern Munich was the World Cup in Germany. It was a lot going up with pressure in the first league with my first club at Borussia Mönchengladbach. So my first experience to play in the Bundesliga, and not to get down in the second league, and all these fights, and it goes so fast that you don't have time to reflect really. And then I had this injury at the beginning, my long contract with Bayern Munich. I want to start, I don't know why, but the question comes into my mind in this moment, who I am if I don't play tomorrow soccer.
So it was a little bit being lucky in an unlucky situation, this injury.
Yeah, it was like the questions like, what if my coach don't like me anymore? What if I don't get another contract? What if I don't want to play because I don't feel to be happy to play because it's my job, it's not my hobby? And all this question, not in a negative way, all this question go in my head, and I say, but what if one of these possibilities, facts come into your life?
Yeah.
How I am then? So, and this is also, I think, a bigger solution or a problem, and we're searching for a solution in Germany because you don't learn it really also at school. A lot of people try everything to know very late that was a good decision to study this or this or this. But you can measure, because every person's individual and you can see what are the talents and what are not. And this you don't learn for life. And that's a big problem also. I love to make a diagnostic and measure all some kinds of, because then you get a feeling of yourself. But what you think is not really what you are.
So again, very solution oriented. The decision to stop at 29, you also justify by saying, because I read that you could not continue in another club where you're not 100% standing behind this decision and to join another soccer club. So I was wondering if now, 10 years later, with another career as president of the HSV, I mean, in such a role, you cannot stand behind every single decision you took. So have you changed kind of this logic, saying, okay, if I'm not 100% behind something, I cannot do it?
Yeah, commitment, it's like what I learned fast. Your own commitment to a decision or to a decision is the most important in life general, like a commitment. It's like between relationships, it's a commitment. And you have to know if you want to go for this commitment. And if you want it, then you do a lot more good than bad, because it's your own decision. No one says that you have to do it like this. And of course, it's like the straightness. What I learned is at the end, the decision with 29, of course, because from business side was not so clever, because my contract ends with 29, and if I sign a new contract, it was the first time in my career that I was not in a contract. But normally, if someone buys a player, they have to pay something for the player to change the club. So I was without contract and can choose some clubs with good money, because there was clubs international, so they have a different system of their Steuer system, tax system. It's not 50%. So
it would have been financially interesting.
Very interesting financially, but this I learned before. If I go through the life with open eyes, that the decision who's in the first moment the easiest way to say yes could be a big mistake and a big or wrong decision for what is coming after.
Okay. So you said commitment is, because I asked myself this question, what's driving you to stick in this role as president of HSV, because also there you got some critique. Was not always kind of smooth, and I was asking myself, well, why would you could also just have said, well, I stop, just leave me alone. Is that again commitment that made you stick to your commitment?
Yeah, it's the commitment, and it's that now, if you look today, like 70 years I go with this club. So and as a president of a club, it's not what everyone thinks. It's the rule, not the rule. The how you say, the main part you have. There are other sport athletes, but not professional in all these units we have. So we have different sports. We have dancing, we have hockey, we have basketball, we have everything. So, and I know how, as an athlete, how they think, and so I think I'm a good person to bring the mindset from athletes into the club. So also in this position, and at the end, the commitment to my club, because I love HSV, because I go this way like 70 years in different situations, and this makes a little bit easier for me to stand behind a lot of decisions. Not every decision was right, of course, but at the end, if we look back now, the last 4 or 6 years, it's amazing what we had, the way we go.
So since this week we know that because your mandate ends this summer, you also you won't reapply to stay president. Why? Why this decision?
Yeah, it's like different situation, of course, but similar to long time, like 6 years when I play as a professional soccer player was like 12 years. Yeah, I was young, but I was playing 12 years. I think the normal time slot to being a professional soccer player is 2 to 3 years. The people don't know this. So I was young, but I play a long 12 years. And like now my job in or at HSV, it's 6 years as the president, where I get 100% of my energy into it. And we as all together reach a lot of good things. I feel now that it's the moment in June if there's a new chapter and I cannot give the same energy as the last 6 years. And if you feel this that you cannot do it the next 4 years in this intensity, then it's not a real commitment. Then we are like in this situation where say now it's good for the next chapter in my life then.
Okay, what is the next chapter in your life?
The first is it's like the company I build up with is aesthetics that needs also a lot of time from me and a 100% commitment what I can give then to at June, because I feel that's like I get my similar situations when I make my hobby to my job. So with aesthetics I feel simply the same, because this health, privilege, prevention, helping people to get resilient, that's I think it's to stand up in the morning. I know why, and that's important. And this commitment to I have now. So this is what I start direct in a higher intensity and commitment in June. And then I will see there is not like yet every plan now, because regeneration it's a part of the training. So people don't know, and regeneration time it's also important to get the reflection on, to see what's going on and what would be the right steps and the next steps for the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. And I don't do this with the pressure, because I know you have to take a big breath after 6 years HSV. I'm very resilient, but that's also not so easy.
I have a little bit of a personal question. Don't take it wrong, but when I read that and prepared for this interview, I thought you are very well prepared for midlife crisis. And I explain myself because midlife crisis usually I believe me, that was something. But you kind of change your career, or you think about, okay, now I'm in this age and I need to see what I'm doing next. But you're like 3 times you already thought, reflected about yourself, and thought. So I guess for you midlife crisis is easy peasy.
Not easy peasy, but it's what I learned early because of the privilege of going into reflection as a professional soccer player. It helps a lot, because life for everyone, also here, it's the same. If you do something, today the time is most you don't do the same 40 years or 30 years. And that's why you have to go and find what makes you happy and where you can get your 100% commitment. And it's a very, life it's going very fast and a lot of changing processes with us is going on. And I feel after 6 years, this is the next point now. The another 4 years will not be the same energy, the same level, the same commitment. And then you cannot be good also in your job.
Sounds totally logical. Well, usually people have this wisdom after the midlife crisis, and you already had. So I mean, this is fantastic, I thought.
Yeah, but I'm if we speak in like 5 years, maybe then I know it's the right decision. Come back. I'm not sure now.
Yeah, but I feel that you're quite well prepared for midlife crisis.
I hope.
If not, you're gonna tell me.
I have some months, 39, so some months.
Yeah, you have.
In November I go to.
Yeah, but that's also you don't. That's probably by accident, but 29, 39. So I thought
10 years. Yeah.
So okay. A little topic change. Obviously, at Kuehne Logistics University, we talk a little bit about logistics. I obviously know you're not a specialist in logistics, but this is also at KLU. Not everybody studies logistics. There's 50% of the students studying more business management, general. But we believe strongly that every manager and leader should have a little bit of or sound knowledge of logistics, supply chain management. So my question. What's your contact like in your daily life, in your professional life with logistics, moving of? Is it an important factor? You need to say yes.
But yeah, I need to say, but I will say yes because, and you said before, yeah, I'm really not the expert. But what I see with open eyes, it's amazing what's going on if you're looking at big events like in World Cup, like normally game match day in a stadium. How much processes are going on only to have this result at the end, or you hope that you have the good result at the end, that there's so much logistic into it, so much steps. It's so important. And then so I think at the end, yeah, it's like in good strategy, it's like also a kind of a good logistic that you think before, and yeah, you have to plan it, you have to organize it, you have a lot of communications going on. If like a game day, it's incredible what's going on there, how much groups have to connect each other to make this happen. And so it's like very impressive for me when I was young and I see all this going on and see other people prepare before like a game when we played a World Cup or a European or at the 3 clubs I play every day. Also the small things, how much is behind there, and how much and a lot of things you have think about before, which it's quite important.
It's preparation. Do you have an example where the preparation was not so perfect and logistics nightmare in the stadium? No beer.
No, beer is not good.
No, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the privilege of soccer, because there, you know that all the world is looking at, most is looking at soccer. The pressure is so high that the performance, it's so good. But yeah, they are in the time of Corona.
Yeah.
I was negative impressed how complicated it is to get in test, like on the highest labor test to know the squad it's going with the bus to the game, and if they reach in for a cup game, for example, in Dresden, and if you arrive, then you get the results. But everyone was sitting already in the bus, so if one person gets like infected, then the whole logistic it's end, because there's no game, there's no training anymore, and like there was really little shocked how behind we are in kind of logistic with get fast and good testings for this situation. Of course, it was a
new situation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but this was like where I was in my position, because it was as a president, if you know, the squad have to play and cannot play because one person is infected, and was together with 29 in the bus, and they have to stay home. It was crazy. But then we was the first club. We find the solution very fast. That you have like in drive-in testing on the highest end level, so that you can prepare it before you go to the game.
So you drove in the. No, I don't understand.
Like a local drive-in, you have tests, and there's like a computer on the same level like the labor can do. What was the name of this testing? When you take the
Abstrich.
But the testing system. I'm quite sure, but you can only do it in the labor normally, and there's a logistic problem. Then you get from all the player the test, You have to bring it to the labor, and then you have to wait, but the club have already to organize the day, the game, the training, whatever, and then you wait, I don't know, 10 hours, 12 hours a day to get the results, and if you get the results, everything can crash. So that was like an example for, I hope we are better prepared, but we are.
Okay. We just talked about beer. Sometimes there's the discussion, I'm just asking, beer or no beer in the stadium?
Of course, why not?
Well, I don't know.
Better a beer than
no beer.
Then my father said better drink sometimes a beer than a cola.
Oh, okay, yeah, because of the sugar, right? No, but yeah, well, anyway, I'm not gonna get into that with you.
I drink both.
Okay, to conclude, I have two more questions. One, if you hadn't become a professional soccer player, what do you think you would have turned out?
No, maybe now I can say, but before there was a big question I tried to find. Now I would say something in sales.
Okay.
For sure, sales, but it needs to be a product with impact for people. In real
like
impact.
what? Yeah. Okay. But what would be the ideal product you?
Yeah, like a product what helps you stay healthy or stay healthy or manage your highest pressure or whatever. Like a product what is not only a product nice to have, like lifestyle, really a product with impact. So, and the main where I think I'm good in then is in sales if I believe in this product. So that's what I do today. I'm lucky that I can grow up my company, and then of course you believe in it, but if I'm not, I think sales, it's like a position where I'm good.
And you did have this idea already as a teenager, or like that would be an alternative, or it was just nothing
not direct, because was of the whole things I see if I get professional more and more. So like every step higher in a professional as an athlete, I see how things now are realistic for me, which kind of diagnostic I never hear or see it before. But you get higher, you get this, and I think this is the privilege, but what I want to give to everyone. We cannot do it only for professional athletes, because in my world, every human are professional athletes of this life, and so this is something where the sports, the top sports, it's far, and in life the people don't know what to do for their own individual prevention. So it's easy to say take care,
if you don't know
what?
how. Yeah,
How?
Okay. Yeah. Last question, and I thought I'm gonna conclude this interview with a question on diversity, inclusion, and equity, since of current times this is and I found that in an interview you said it would be great to integrate women trainers in the male training staff. So I was wondering, what do you think a woman trainer can add more to the team than a male trainer?
Yeah, but what I learned, especially we have to say in soccer.
In soccer?
Because in soccer, because I know all the soccer typical stuff that's going on, and men's are a lot of driven, not all the time solutions driven, and feel this take decisions a lot with emotions. I think women more strategy, better in logistic, more solutions driven, because they don't make like what soccer makes with men's. Teilweise they're going to shy.
But this
That's
is
good, but at the end it's sometimes not good. It's also a reason why a lot of big clubs playing in the second league.
Because too many emotions.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is you're specifically talking about soccer.
There's missing governance. There's missing strategy. There's missing a lot in soccer, especially in soccer. Yeah. And I learn and I see and I feel if the perspective of women, because they see the situation, they make an analyze and they say, I think this is a solution for it. and don't driven by, I was growing up standing in the stadium and I was my beer with my father, and yet now I'm in the club and boo, and we lose 3-0, everything is shit, and next game you win 5-0, yeah, we are the best, we're going. So this is like a kind of the problem in soccer. That's why I call, if the people say you are the president from HSV, I say, you can say this, yeah, with a title, but you can also tell that I'm the Eitelkeiten manager. I don't know the word. I'm an Eitelkeiten manager and not a president at the end.
Yeah, you looked that up, what that means in English.
Look, that's very important because that's the biggest problem. Eitelkeiten management in the soccer world, in the dominated world of men's in soccer, that we need some inputs.
Would you go as far to say that the Bundestrainer could be a woman for the male team?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
That's, I think, a perfect final word. Thank you very much, Marcell Jansen. Let's give you a hand. Thanks for this interview. And now we continue with questions from the audience. So, do we have questions for Marcell? Don't be shy.
Hi. My question is, so obviously you are an entrepreneur and you are the president, or the German word you just said that I couldn't understand because I'm not German. What's the difference of running a company and running a soccer club? Like day to day, like what's like your feeling, the difference in your feeling and the difference in your position?
Good question. I think a lot of things are similar, quite, but that makes it also very difficult at the same time, because in like, it's not me leading, so a lot of leaders leading a soccer club, because there you have a very complex system. Also in the bigger clubs, in England maybe it's different, because if you know, there's more like ownership. So there's a clear standing of who had the power at the end. And like in what I like also, that's why I take the step as a president from a traditional club. There's a very complex system with a lot of people, with a lot of, we say it, we call it gremien. What is the word in this?
Boards.
Boards. There are a lot of boards. You have to take on your vision. You have a lot of more communication into leading a soccer club, because of this behavior from men with a lot of emotions-driven decisions. So, and it's like a daily business. So a lot of happen if you lose or win a single game. It's crazy sometimes, because you only lose a one. Yeah, of course it's important, but everyone talks about this. So, and I think there's the big difference too with the focus in like in a company. It's not all the time you are standing on the stage all the time. So there are a lot of decisions going on, a lot of structure, strategies, and I think there's a little easier to lead a company than a professional, famous soccer club, because of all these behaviors. What brings soccer, the emotions brings also a lot of problems.
Thank you.
Herausforderungen.
Challenges.
Hi. My question is that, you are a professional football player. You have your own company. You are an entrepreneur. What is the one thing during your professional football career which you have learned, and like it's the one thing which you apply in your day-to-day life as an entrepreneur? You are running your company. What is the one thing which you think like it's actually helped me during my football days, and as an entrepreneur, it is also helping me currently?
I think the most is what I said already. It's to check or to reflect how far away from my starting commitment of this what I do, and sometimes you have to recheck it in life. It's normal. Things happen. Life goes fast, and then. But what I learned, it's how close. It's not being 100% every day. That's not what I want to tell. But how close I am with my commitment, and how much I'm can bring into it, that maybe the next days, the next weeks, months get successful. So that's not only in business, also private. It's like the same. I said also relationships are commitments at the end, and I think the hardest way is to communicate and to do the thing what we do today and tomorrow. It's the right decision for, I don't know, 5 years. And this like to challenge, to reflect the commitment of your important things in your life.
Thank you. And I just have one small question off topic. You played in both the World Cups of 2006 and 2010. Which team did you prefer, 2006 or the 2010?
Both World Cups was special because different countries, different cultures, and I love South Africa. It was amazing, this experience, but that's why I can answer it some easier. My first World Cup, of course, it's the biggest for me. It's the first time playing a World Cup as the youngest player, play against Cristiano Ronaldo and win this game and all the emotions going on. Because also this World Cup 2006 for me was the biggest of a long time history of Germany, not because of the end results, we are on a third place, or also if we win it, because of what happened with Germany, extern and intern, so inside and outside. So how all other people, countries looking to Germany after and with the World Cup 2006. And this is a big step we do to open Germany to get another level after we never reached this because of our story, our history. Yeah, and I feel the energy of 2006 with all the people, all the fans, all the cultures was here, that we had a big party together, and it changed, I think, Germany and me also as a person changed totally. This experience.
I guess you can't even remember. I mean, but I agree. It was a change in era. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have one question to you. So you mentioned that in both of your works you have a lot of pressure, a lot of stress and tension. So have you ever had the feeling that you want to quit? Not because of the circumstances it will be in the future, but just like emotionally. And what do you do then when you want to quit?
Of course, I had this situation, and this is what happened. This what I mean. The easiest way. There are a lot of situations where you will say, "I want to quit because it's easier." It could be the right decision, but what I learned: don't take the decision in this moment where you are in this situation or in this kind of emotion. You don't have to take the decision in this moment where you are under pressure or highly under pressure. Take a breath, take some sleeps, try to reflect, and then take a decision. If I don't know, is it some days, is it a week, is it a month? But if you have your clear head and not like what I learn is, it's for people, there's something happen very bad, they get very emotional, and then they're writing an email. Never do this. It's not good. Because you will maybe have the same, the character of the email. It's the same if you do it the next day, but how you do it and how you communicate it, it's a big difference to only emotion driven and to take the decision. So if you are in situation like and I had it also to quit, I do it again. Like my first time as a president was the first 2 years because I join a team what was already there because someone gets out from the current team. So, and then there was the big question. I quit after these 2 years because not everything was very good in this time because was not really a team because I join and I feel it's not my commitment how we want to handle this. And then was the question to quit or to get another 4 years with a team where I have the chance with. So. Yeah, maybe there was a lot of time where I want to quit, but then I take a breath and try to think about it a little more, take the time, and then to take a good, better, with not so much emotional decision.
Hello first. So I'm curious, besides the World Cup in '06, for example, what was your most memorable moment in your professional football career? And then also the most important question, are you more a Ronaldo or a Messi fan?
The first, the biggest moment of my whole career? Well, it's hard to say. If I look back on the national team, it's 2006, because changing everything, not only with me, with the country I was grown up with. It's 2006 for sure. We call it Sommermärchen. Then in the club area, different. So I'm very thankful to had like win a championship, win the cup with Bayern Munich, but also playing international with HSV in stadium of Celtic, Manchester City. But also the hard times was very important for my life, because resilience come from this, not from when everything runs good. Resilience come from the hard time where you have to stand up, where you have to fight for not going down in the second league. So it's unfair to say of the club area it was this or this, but the World Cup for me, yeah, it's like, I think I never had a chance like stand before 1 million people after the last game on the fan mile in Berlin. So it was crazy.
I imagine. Oh, you haven't responded to Messi or...
Sorry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. I think as the typical character of both player, you cannot really compare. It's my, because of course they are the GOATs like this, and I know this is all the gamification, Messi or Ronaldo. But if I have to do it, because you make the question, I will answer it. It's like I go a little with Cristiano, because I think Messi had a bigger talent, and so I'm more impressed what you can reach if you look at the career of Cristiano Ronaldo and what he takes for resilience to play in different countries and rock every country and take the how you say, Beweis? Proof. It doesn't matter he plays in Italy or in England or in Spain, and then the way he score by head, the way he score with left and right, it's like a little more Cristiano, but at the end, if I do it, I don't compare, because the different types of players.
Thank you.
You said resilience comes from the hard times. So how do you stay resilient in hard times and stay reflected in these? What I tell before, privileged in is that I learned it in 21, the year 21. I learn, or I know that I can make a diagnostic in where I stand now with my mental health. Before I don't know it, that you can measure it. So I know what you can measure in body. You can measure everything. How is your running type? What are your cardio results? What are your back strengths and problems? You can measure everything in body. Everyone, or the most, know it that you can. But what I don't know really, you can measure your resilience and your factors. Because resilience or mental resilience, it's the result of how we thinking. Or how you say, wie sagen Sie mal im Deutschen, deine Bewertung ist deine Resilienz, also wie du Sachen bewertest, ist Resilienz.
How you evaluate.
How do you? It's your reality. It's your reality. So if you don't know your reality, why you do this? For example, your parents give you, if you grow up as a child, for example, like my father, where I come from, say, there's like a German like Sprichwort, von nix kütt nix. Das sind Glaubenssätze. I don't know how to translate this. It's deeper in mental health, but you grow up with everything you see, you hear, you get from your parents, from your friends, from your people around, and that makes something with you. And everything what you see, you try to. It's your reality, and your reality you have to control, and you have to check, and you can measure it. You can measure your mental health situation. It's, I think, between 35 or 37 factors you can measure where you stand at the moment in your mental resilience. If you know this, then you find the answer how you can handle the situation, because you know where your problem is.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for being here and the insights. I have another question regarding resilience. What can you give us along to our way as young professionals, students, what we can learn about resilience, or how we can handle it or improve our resilience? Maybe give some insights, what you have found out already, and want to include to your company, since I hope it's not a company for only for professional sports, or also for like
Normal people like us.
Normal people like us.
Yeah, thank you for the question, because this is why I built the company, because we come from the professional part, from the professional soccer players, but we do all this for the people. So we work also with the professionals again, but the main focus are the people, the humans. So and I cannot give so much tips, because every one from us is individual. So what we do, or what we can do with everyone who likes it, we can do it also. We can talk about how we can organize maybe also here. What we do is we give everyone an individual resilience profile, your individual resilience profile. It's about the concrete, what is your prevention, your individual compass you need for your body and mental health. So that we can do, you can measure it, and then you can make your own program from it. And not a big program, it's a program you can build in routines and bring it into your life very easily. Of course, it takes some time, but if you know what you can do and you know why you do it, then you will change it.
What would it be, for example? Like
for in the body side, for example, analyze of your walking and of your feet, because everything it's like coming from, a lot is coming from up to down, because it's your static. That's what statics. The outside statics, it's like the back. It's the cardio, so all your cardio results, and the mental factors. And then we bring it together in your individual resilience profile, and then you get some training sessions for you can do at home. So for example, I do, if I sitting in the train, I have my digital guidance tool for my own mental health. So you can also have it, and then you can train during in the train, not looking too much YouTube and Instagram. You can do it, but maybe you take 15 minutes for your individual resilience, because you get individual exercises compared to your results, for example.
This would be an app then? Like you have an app?
It's a mix between like digital and also we are going into the companies. So we are B2B driven. So the people can start digital, and then we come and talk to the people and find to get the profile and the program start.
Thank you.
Maybe one last question.
Thank you for being here. And my question would be, if you would be 18 now again, let's say 18 or 19 or 20, it doesn't matter, I think. And if you would be
2 years back.
Yeah, exactly. In these last 2 years,
Midlife crisis.
In these last 2 years, a lot of things changed. And what would you be doing different maybe now? Because I think also that the soccer world changed a lot, like also in regards to mental health and stuff like this. What would you do different?
Yeah, it's a good question, because what I would do if it's there, so technical, I would also being more going into the mental health stadium. It was not possible at this moment. I learned it I know that there is a technology who can measure it, or a way to measure it in 21. So before, I don't know it. This I would totally starting with I was younger, because then then people don't have to be 70 or 80 and say, oh, this I learned and this I would never do, because then you can take what I say with measure a diagnostic to learn So I learn about me a lot if I see it and I read it. And this I will direct do with 18s to don't lose too much time with stuff where I think, oh, why I do this 3 years, maybe I had known it before. And it's like a little kind of all what's going on. The head is so important, but no one knows really what is the head because no one explains to you. Yeah? In Germany, it's like you need someone you trust, and then you have like, I don't know, 5 sessions answering questions, paying a lot of money, and this is coaching mental health. So I don't know, is this the right way to get people health and to get people resilient in this way if it's coming from the illness and from sitting on a couch. And this one will change direct, because I know what's going on here. It's important because this is our powerful for everyone. This is our powerful, what we have, our power we have.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your questions. Thank you, Marcell Jansen, for having been at Kühne Logistics University and tell us your insights on resilience, commitment, solution, being solution-driven. Thanks a lot. Let's give him another.
Thank you. Thank you.
And to the audience on YouTube, if you liked what you saw today, there is a couple of other Doc and Talks out there on YouTube, on podcast platforms. So if you enjoyed this one, watch the other ones and put in the comments how you would translate Eitelkeiten Manager, because I still haven't found the translation.
The homework.
That's the homework, yeah. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Thank you.